It is Tuesday, March 29th in the NBA, and I'm back with my best picks of the day. Yo, what's going on, everyone? This is Austin from Calling Our Shot. Ladies and gentlemen, let's do a recap, and you need to get out those brooms because we had a 4-0 sweep. That's what we love to see. Nikola Jokic, DeJounte Murray. We did Julius Randle's under and three-pointers. He had a big goose egg, as many as you and I. And then Jakob Poeltl cashing his over despite some foul trouble. Either way, a great day that we were long overdue. It's been a bad March so far, but this has a little bit of momentum that we can hopefully continue through the end of the regular season in the NBA and then into the playoffs. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Drop a like too. I think we're less than 200 subscribers away from 29,000. If we can hit that 29,000 today, we're doing a subscriber parlay giveaway on Wednesday. A much better slate in the NBA than what we got today. So either way, if we helped you make some money, consider becoming an all-star. We appreciate all our COS All-Stars out there. It's our membership on YouTube. Only costs $2.99 a month. You get our plays early on YouTube, and you get some cool other perks like some cool custom emojis, and you get your Discord role and all that stuff. If you don't have the Discord role and you are a COS All-Star, let me know down below in the description what your username is in Discord. Either way, helps to support the channel too. If you want to click the join button on the channel or the link in the description, you can become a COS All-Star today. Our newest All-Stars, Zay ISO, appreciate you for joining back. Steven, I know you're first time All-Star. I appreciate it. I saw your comment in the Discord. And Tim, we appreciate all you guys for joining the channel and helping us support us. It helps us do this all 100% free for you guys. I know it's not been the greatest March, but we're going to keep getting into it. We were long overdue a 4-0 sweep day. Also, in addition to the sweep, I gave out a PrizePicks parlay on Twitter. Make sure you're following us on Twitter and all our social media links down below at Call on Our Shot. We would really appreciate it. And it cashed yesterday. You could put $10 on it to turn into $100, $5 to turn into $50, $100 to turn into $1,000. Either way, we cashed that one. If you want to sign up for PrizePicks, use code COS or the link in the description for a 100% deposit match. Basically, you deposit $100, you get another free $100. Super cool promo. My last reminder, number one, you can now listen to these daily videos on the go. You can listen. I mean, you still could in the past just playing the YouTube video, but now you can go onto any podcasting platform, or at least the major ones, and just type in Call on Our Shot or click the link at the top of the description, and you can just download it and listen to it on maybe in your car on the way to work, whatever it may be. You can just go download the podcast. It also helps support this Call on Our Shot channel. Regardless, give us a good rating there too. And number two, we are doing a weekly we do our weekly podcast every Tuesday night, and we post it on Wednesday. If you want to drop your questions down below, we'll answer them. But let's waste no more time. Let's hop into the best bet of the day. Probably my only play of the day, and it's the Greek Freak. You know why we're wearing the shirt. We're taking his over 12.5 rebounds. Giannis Antetokounmpo minus 110 on FanDuel. Now the Greek Freak is on the road taking on the Sixers, and what is a pivotal matchup in the standings in the Eastern Conference. Why this game isn't televised, I don't know. No one wants to watch the Lakers versus Mavericks. I don't want to watch it as they're down LeBron James today. We'll talk about that in a second. But still, Bucks are currently sitting at the 2 and the 3 seed. The Bucks and the Sixers, 2 and 3. Heat are up a game on them, and the 4 seed is the Celtics, who are technically tied, but they have played 2 more games, and both the Bucks and the Sixers. So either way, this is a pivotal game for the playoff seedings. Now, we've picked Giannis's props in the past, and either half the time he either cashes for us, the other half he gets ruled out. Today, I don't anticipate him getting ruled out. He is probable with his knee injury. I think they're really just resting him for the playoffs, but they don't want to rest him today. Now, the only negative about this game is Giannis is on the road, and like we've talked about in the past, he doesn't seem to want to rebound on the road this season, but still then gets it done, and there's a couple of different reasons why. Now, Giannis has gone over then under in his last 5 games, and he did go under last game with 11 rebounds against the Grizzlies in a game that they got blown out in, so I think they bounce back today, and we see Giannis get back on the boards like he's been doing. Now, let's talk about this matchup. Giannis over this line in 10 of his last 11 games versus Sixers, averaging 15.5 rebounds per game throughout that time. Now, he did go under in the most recent matchup right before the All-Star break on February 17th. He only had 11 rebounds in that one, but that was a little bit of a weird game as the Bucks not only gave up 123 points, which isn't, honestly, the Bucks some games don't like playing a whole lot of defense, giving up a lot of three-pointers. Maybe Tyrese Maxey is a good bet today over in threes, but that was a game the Bucks only had 44 team total rebounds, offensive and defensive. It's a team that averages 55 rebounds per game, 3rd in the NBA. So I think that was just a case of them not getting a lot of rebounds, not playing great defense. I think they'll get back towards that. Now, look, we've taken opposing power forwards, which is what Giannis plays, against the Sixers team all season long because they give up a lot of rebounds to that position. Why might you ask? Well, because you have the center, Brook Lopez, Bobby Portis, Serge Ibaka. All those guys are going to have to go out and guard Embiid. And we know Embiid likes to sit on the three-point line. He sets a lot of screens, takes a lot of mid-range shots. That's going to lead to the center contesting a lot of shots. And that leaves Giannis in the paint to grab basically all the rebounds. And look, you'll have Chris Middleton, who should be back today. You have a couple guys that will steal some rebounds. Giannis will be the primary rebounder. There's a reason he's averaged over 15 rebounds per game versus the Sixers in the last 15 games. Now, Giannis, we saw him crushing this line in the playoffs last year, and this should have a playoff-type atmosphere in Philadelphia. And look, we're asking for 13 rebounds. It might seem like a lot. He has set this over in 7 of his last 12 games since the All-Star break. This is Giannis we're talking about, plus Brook Lopez is starting now. Brook Lopez, we know he's kind of allergic to grabbing rebounds, and so we're going to trust Giannis. I think he gets us his over 12.5 rebounds, and as we always say, tonight we are getting Greek freaky, and so we're going to ride with Giannis as our primary only play of the day. Now, I do want to talk about the other plays, because I know some people of you out there, and I'm not going to call you out, some of you are a little bit of a degenerate, and you want to get a lot more on the slate. Well, I do want to say, bankroll manage. We don't need to force a lot. We did have a great day yesterday. No reason to throw it onto a trash slate today because we have a lot of trash games out there. So we'll just start with the Lakers-Mavericks, one of the trashiest games that I could find. And I did like Luka's under in PRAs, 46.5 at the moment. These are just leans. I'm not going to play them. I don't want to count anything towards my official record that I don't also have some money on. So I only have money on the Greek Freak tonight. But I did like Luka's under in PRAs. The only concerns here is, well, for positive, this game could be a blowout, which should help him go under this line. But number 2, I've had a bad track record playing stars unders. You saw me play, I don't know, Stephen Curry's under 40.5 PRAs way early on in the season. The man dropped the 50 piece on my head. And so the Mavericks are 12.5 point favorites here, and so I can give you a little bit of data behind it. Now, obviously, there's a blowout, and his only matchup versus the Lakers this season, he had 38 PRAs. We obviously have no LeBron. Anthony Davis is supposedly going to be coming back soon, but he's still doubtful. So no LeBron and AD. You're going to have Russell Westbrook pushing the pace, and normally when teams push the pace, normally actually is good for Luka's unders because the man's in shape, but he's not necessarily a guy that's going to go up and down the court, exposing you. He normally does much better against slower-paced teams, but still, in his last 6 games versus the Lakers, he had 38, 39, 47, 38, 42, and 30 PRAs. So he's gone under in all of those games, except for one that he landed on the hook. So I do like the under 46.5 PRAs here, but I don't really want to force a bet into this one. It could be a random game where the Lakers somehow keep it close with Russell Westbrook doing who knows what, but I'm not really going to force this one, but I just did want to bring it to your attention. I do like the under for Luka today, but like I said, I don't like betting a lot of stars unders, although that sometimes is where the most value can be at. So if you do want to bet it, go for it. I'll only be taking Giannis today. Now let's talk about the other games. Bulls, Wizards. Look, gun to my head. If the Bulls can't win and cover today against the Wizards, they shouldn't make the playoffs. I'm sorry, don't make the rules. Maybe you could say the same about the Warriors, who lost outright to the Wizards a couple days ago as 7-point favorites. But look, if the Bulls can't do it again now against this Wizards team that is not very good, I don't know what they can do. And look, DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine, Nikola Vucevic, I know they're all coming off a back-to-back. They lost to the New York Knicks. The Knicks, I don't know what to tell you. The Knicks are back, baby. But either way, the Bulls got to bounce back. This is a must-win game for them. I don't care who's playing out there. They could rest everyone. Alex Caruso, whoever's out there, they have to win this game. They can't lose. They can't afford to lose it. They just can't. So I would take the Bulls minus 3.5 as my spread lean of the day. I'm not going to force a bet into them because honestly, I don't want to watch this game. I have no interest in watching the Bulls-Wizards game at the moment, but I still do think the Bulls should win and cover that game. If they can't do that, then I don't know what the heck they can do. And let's move on to the next game on the slate, Pistons versus Nets. Really looking at Cade Cunningham over an assist or PRAs. Now, the only concern here, 13-point spread. The Nets are coming off a brutal loss to the Hornets. That was a big game for them. They're going to bounce back. They have to win this game. And while the Pistons have been good post-All-Star break, we have seen the Nets kind of crank it into gear. And they kind of turned off that gear against the Hornets and obviously turned it on against the Miami Heat. They're going to have to turn it on again today against the Pistons. They were at home, so that helps. But look, Cade's main motivation here, maybe we'll be targeting his props as the season ends, is that, well, he's trying to get the Rookie of the Year award trophy. And while there's not a lot of incentives and stuff into a lot of players playing hard these days, Cade does want that Rookie of the Year award trophy, and we did see Evan Mobley unfortunately get injured last night. Mobley was leading that race, and maybe there's a little bit of an opening. We know Cade Cunningham has verbalized in press conferences that he does want to win that award, and he obviously verbalized wanting to be the number one overall pick, so obviously he probably wants to get it. Only concern really here is a blowout, so not really going to take any Cade's props, but if I had to take him, I'd take his over in assists or PRAs. Assists might be a little bit safer because he's been hitting his over 6.5 assists pretty consistently. Jeremy Grant also out today. Now, the last game I wanted to look at, Clippers versus Jazz. I believe it is the other game on TNT tonight. This is a yucky game if I've ever seen one. Both teams got a lot of injury concerns. Clippers have already said we're not playing our stars a lot of minutes. I don't really know what to do with here, but I did like Rudy Gobert's over in rebounds. Now, he has a game-time decision. It was a late scratch last game, but assuming he plays, if he does play, I don't see them resting him, only playing him 20 minutes. That's probably not going to happen. They're not going to risk Gobert's health. So if he does play, I think he has a good chance of hitting his over in rebounds. He does have 15-plus rebounds in 4 straight games versus the Clippers every single game this season. And look, all in all, I do think he's got a good chance of hitting this over against them. And we'll see exactly, if he plays. Hassan Whiteside's out too, which will help his minutes. And then number 2, yeah, we'll see how he performs. We'll see exactly what his status is for the injury. Hopefully there is no minutes restriction for Gobert, but I do think he gets his over in rebounds. If he does play, I bet you his line is going to be pretty low. It'll be like 11.5, 12.5. Should be able to hit that against the Clippers, who have been a team that have been allowing a ton of rebounds to opposing big men. We obviously saw Joel Embiid just have 11 rebounds or 10 rebounds against him. Obviously his teammate James Harden at 15. So they've been giving up a ton of rebounds. It's a game that is a virtual pick'em. No Hassan Whiteside. I think Gobert hits his over in rebounds. If they disrespect him with the line, maybe he'll add it, but it's going to be a 10-30-ish game. I don't really want to force any plays that late onto the slate. So today, we're only riding with the Greek Freak. We're taking his over 12.5 rebounds. Up in the lone play of the day. Obviously, those lanes, you can do whatever you want with them. The lanes have been doing pretty good, so we'll keep getting into it. Hopefully, we can build momentum off a 4-0 sweep day yesterday. And tomorrow, we'll get back into it, more plays, but might even have a subscriber parlay tomorrow if you hit that subscribe button, and we'll definitely have a PrizePicks parlay. So, as always, use code COS. Use the link in the description to sign up for PrizePicks for that 100% deposit match up to $100. And drop your questions down below if you want to have us answer them and shout you out on the podcast. Become a COS All-Star. All the whole kit and caboodle. I appreciate you for tuning in. It's been Austin. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.